Awesome. Welcome, everybody. My name is Cami, and I'm part of Team Harmony and just thrilled that you're here. We have something pretty exciting to share with you. It has changed our lives, and we're thrilled that you're here to find out how it could possibly help you and a loved one or people you care about. So I'm so thankful that you're here. If you are a guest or if this is your first time on the call, we'd love for you to drop your name in the chat and who invited you to the call. If there's more than one of you sitting on the screen or listening to a device, drop all of your names in there. We'd love for you to be entered to win a few patches, and we'll explain what that is at the end. So Tracey's going to explain a little bit more about this technology and what we're talking about tonight. And Tracey, would you like to share your screen and tell us what this is all
Absolutely.
about?
My pleasure. Happy to have you all here tonight. And we're all pretty passionate about this because it's not often that you find something that can do as much as this product can do and keep it natural and undo damage that we've done over the years. So, what we're talking about is a groundbreaking use of phototherapy, light therapy. Think of sunshine. When you go out in the sun, we have energy, we feel great, right? That's what we're talking about here with a wearable patch. And it's helping to fuel the powerhouses of our body. And those are cells for energy, for cognition, performance, maybe even just getting rid of pain. So this is revolutionary. Here's the sad thing, developed 20 years ago. None of us knew about it. But if you've been living with something like this and somebody told you could get rid of it by wearing a Band-Aid, would you listen? Well, we hope the answer is yes to that because that's what we're going to share with you tonight. What we're talking about is the future of medicine, and it's not just about treating illness. Thankfully, because of this company and this product, it's about unlocking the body's innate ability to heal. Heal the body naturally with Mother Nature's resources. What a novel idea. And we do want to give you our standard disclaimer because Cami, Joy, Heather, we are not medical professionals. We're not going to be diagnosing or treating. We always want you working with your medical professionals of whatever you have going. But this is a wellness product in the FDA categories. And the content we're sharing tonight is purely informational for you. We're just educating you on something you haven't been fortunate enough to hear about until now. And we do have another website called harmonypatching.com that we've put together to help you learn how to use these. We're going to go fairly quickly, high level, but if you want more information, we encourage you to jot that down, harmonypatching.com. But pretty interestingly, they've recently learned how critical light is to good health. And, if you try to grow any plant in the dark, what happens? Nothing, right? It goes limp. It doesn't work, right? Same is true with our human body. They're now realizing sunlight is a lack of it can be as deadly as smoking. Wow, I had no clue on that. But shocking. The reality is, though, for thousands of years, people have known the power of light. Practitioners have been using light therapy in many different forms for many years. Red light therapy, lasers, infrared saunas, MRIs. It's just a different power of light. But the company we're talking about tonight, LifeWave, has spent 10 years in stem cell research. Why, we might ask, why so long in their timeline in this, but it has to do with us getting older. And when we're young and we're a newborn baby, we are full of these stem cells. That is how a baby's made in utero. It's one cell that is the blueprint of the body, dividing many, many times, that creates that sweet little baby in 9 months. They smell beautiful. Their skin is gorgeous, right? And anything happens to them, they recover quick. As we're kids, skin your knee, fall down, break your arm. Gee, in a few weeks, you're back to normal, right? When that happens to us and we're over 60, not so much. Do you know what? Because we've lost those cells. The beautiful thing is they really just go dormant like a burned out light bulb in our body. But when you're age 30, you've lost half. When you're 60, like me, I'm going to be 60 in a couple weeks here. Um, I'm down to less than 10% of my repair cells. And that's why we have more aches and pains, less recovery and fine lines, wrinkles, gray hair. Maybe your sleep gets interrupted. Maybe your memory's not what it was, right? Metabolism slows, all that yucky stuff we call aging. Here's some good news. Because of this wearable patch that we're going to educate you on tonight, you can reverse a lot of those conditions. But this product is patented. This is the only company you can get it from. And I think this video explains it really better than I can. So I'm going to have you take a listen. It's just 2 minutes.
An empowered life has no expiration date. We're all created to do incredible things, like conquer summits, catch big waves, live our passions. As time goes on, our bodies begin to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy levels decline, sleep patterns shift, and recovery slows. But our bodies are masterpieces of design, holding the potential to bounce back better than ever. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and regenerative science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHKCU, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, which requires external light sources, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality, enhancing the body's flow of natural energy for improvements in strength, stamina, performance, and overall health and well-being, with the simplicity of an affordable, non-invasive, non-transdermal patch. As we age, levels of these life-enhancing elements, which are associated with wellness and longevity, begin to decline. LifeWave invested 10 years into stem cell research, which resulted in over 70 patents. X39 was born to bring to the public a product that can support wellness in an entirely new way, supporting the production of younger, healthier cells with wearable light technology. Becoming a powerhouse is easier than you think. Harness your body's natural potential to maintain youthful energy and vitality, because life comes at you fast, but it doesn't have to pass you by. Live long, live well, live young. Be the light with LifeWave X39. LifeWave.
Pretty cool. Just amazing. Technology, we're talking about technology like why we can talk on a cell phone all around the world instead of attached to a kitchen wall, right? Technology and health, just so life-changing. And a lot of these celebrity athletes, you probably heard of Tom Brady and Serena and Venus Williams, Michael Phelps. They've been wearing these patches for years. These were developed 20 years ago for the US Navy SEALs, and they are helping to activate your repair cells. So it's helping with pain, it's helping with inflammation, wound, energy, uh, mental clarity. That was the big one for me. Man, I like having my old brain back and not that old, messed up brain that couldn't remember anything. But the beautiful part of this is there's no drugs, there's no chemicals or stimulants. We never have to worry about drug interactions because nothing goes into the bloodstream or the body. And that's why the US Navy SEALs were able to use these and doing so well and notice change. And the Olympic Committee approved Michael Phelps to keep his medals after they did some investigation because it's not doping, it's a reflection of light. There is a website our friend Marcy has put together, startx39now.com. It does have a password. The word is light, but this is a really excellent website in the beginning when you're just learning and want information. They have a science section, and my favorite part of that is the age reversal with the GHK copper peptide. And they go into different studies. They did 90 of them around the globe. And in this particular study, the participants, after 6 weeks of wearing X39, on average, they lowered their cardiovascular age by about 8 weeks. So that means for every day they wore it, their heart got about a day and a third younger. What else does that? There's nothing out there. And what it does for brains is nothing short of remarkable. And our friend Joy is on here who had a traumatic brain injury. And because of what it does to the brain, very quickly her brain came back. Thankfully, mine did too. But this lady here, session 1, is her baseline before she's ever put a patch on her body. She's a 77-year-old woman where you see orange and red is inflammation, swelling, heat, slows down blood flow, impairs cognition. Session 2 is her first check-in on this study. So 3 weeks of wearing X39, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. In the final conclusion of the study, another 3 weeks, so a total of 6 weeks. That is a perfectly balanced brain in session 3. So greatly reduced inflammation. Her memory, focus, and cognitive function completely changed. And that GHK copper peptide is supporting cell and nerve regeneration as well. So you're getting better connections in the synapses, and you can just see what happens after a short time of use. This lady here was trying to write her name, really struggling to do so, you can see. About 2 weeks later, look at that beautiful penmanship. But look at all of those little nooks and crannies in that brain. Easily traps toxins and different things in the brain we don't want there. So patches really help to prevent the decline of cognition. We hear a lot of people talk about improved sleep, and we love that for them because when we sleep is when the body is purging toxins and repairing itself. X39 is enough for 80% of the people out there. But Alavita is my absolute favorite for sleep because it's raising melatonin, but it's also doing more. It's bringing back collagen, and Cami will talk about that in a minute. We also have another way to raise melatonin, that's silent night. So if you are a real tough insomniac, we've got you. We just got to figure out the combination to get you into that nice restful sleep. But this is Marcy, our friend. She was actually dying of 3 types of fast-growing cells, one type that would never go into remission. And look at her. Luckily, her naturopath friend gave her 10 X39. And on day 3, she started tasting chemo. She was detoxing. Day 7, it started coming out through her back. Again, detoxing. Critically important for good health. But she is now 6 years into the use of these, and she just gets better with time. What we're talking about here is age reversal versus anti-aging. Because anti-aging would stop you where you are. Age reversal, let's grandma here start looking like granddaughter. Powerful stuff. We're not just talking outside surface stuff. We are talking interior health. Spine pain, game changer. A degenerative spinal cord here on the left with bulging disc. Look at this on the right. Same patient, several months later. And that was just during clinical trial with only X39. They figured out how to accelerate that by adding another patch. And Cami will talk about that. This young lady with curvature of the spine, 4 weeks later, look at this. Her spine is starting to straighten out. Do what Mother Nature always designed it to do, right? And that's a beautiful thing. It doesn't matter how we got where we are. Things change because the body's doing the work. This is simply a signaling tool. And the body is designed pretty remarkably. But we're talking skin and hair changes, varicose veins get hidden, cystic acne can balance because we start to balance hormones. So pretty great. Look at these ladies. This is age reversal. They are happier. They are feeling better. You can just see it. It's more than skin deep too. Autoimmune conditions, they can correct on their own. Again, signaling device from the body by a patch. And rapid repair of fast-growing cells. And these pictures are shocking to me how quickly these changes happen. I mean, this lady here is less than a month. And this guy was just 2 months after Cami shared this with him. He'd had 20 surgeries, I believe it was, over 15 years. Wow. These are not just for us people. These are for our fur babies too. This is my friend's dog, Brutus, on the left here. I did not know he had lost his vision because of blood sugar issues, but I knew he had arthritis. And I told Terry, you should have him wearing these. Put your used ones on his bed or on the inside of his collar. He'll thank you. And lo and behold, look at this. A week later, those eyes, the pupil came back. He got his vision. He started following around the house. She called me crying. And then he wanted her to start throwing the stick again. That hadn't happened in years, but they've been using these on racehorses, cats, dogs, birds for a long time. This is our favorite part of the night. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to have Cami introduce our testimonial.
Well, I'm thrilled to introduce Julie to you. I got connected to her through the whole reason that Tracey shared the patches with me. And so Julie is from Wendell, Idaho, and she started using the patches a couple of years ago and started noticing amazing results. So Julie, can you unmute and share with us what you were experiencing?
Okay. Yep. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm here. So I started patching, it'll be 2 years in January, actually. And I was just given a sample patch to try. And so I saved it the first day I was given it. It was given to me, and then I put it on the next morning and I used it for the whole day. Now, I have had sinus issues all my life, terrible allergies, was just miserable as a child in school, lived on Benadryl, that sort of stuff. And I had spent several months actually not even be able to breathe out the left side of my nostrils, and I'd had sinus surgery, had what was left of my tonsils taken out. And, of course, they told me it wasn't an infection. They didn't want to put me on antibiotics, but I didn't want to live on pills all the time. I had taken one for a long time that I think ended up ruining my gallbladder because I had to have that out too. But so anyway, I just kind of dealt with it. I just got used to just dealing with it, and I just lived that way. So this patch was given to me. I didn't put it on the day it was given to me. I set it aside. I put it on the next morning. I went and helped with a 90th birthday party throughout the day. And there's another part to that too. But when I took it off that night, went to bed, I fell right to sleep, which is something that I hadn't done in a long, long time. I was getting maybe 3-4 hours of sleep a night. And I fell right to sleep. I woke up at 2 a.m. and I was dripping wet, and I literally felt like I was drowning in the crud that was coming out of my head and out of my lungs. Got to the bathroom, got myself cleaned up, blew out my nose, went back to bed, went right back to sleep, did the same thing over 2 hours later. And I woke up that morning sitting on my bed, and my husband said to me, "What's the matter with you?" And I said, "I don't know. I don't know if I caught something yesterday around all the folks or what, but I said, I don't know what's going on." And he said, "Well, do you need to go to the doctor?" And I said, "Well, I don't think so." And this was Sunday, so I would have had to probably go to the emergency room. So I thought, well, I'm going to hold off on that. By noon, I was able to breathe out of the left side of my head. And I was coughing stuff up out of my lungs. Now, it used to be, I'm pretty active, but I was to the point where I can walk around, probably even halfway around the block without being winded and, having to take a break. So by noon, I was able to breathe and felt like there was actually a break taken off my chest. So I called my friend that had given me this patch, and I said, "Is there any chance that this patch is doing this? What's going on?" And she said, "Oh my goodness, you're having a major detox." So I said, "Well, whatever is happening, sign me up. I need more." So I signed up. I got my patches 3 days later, put them on. Now, when I was younger, I had jumped out of a swing and didn't let go with my left hand and pulled everything loose from my left shoulder. So I've always had pain and a lack of mobility in that shoulder. So the third night I wore these patches, I took the patches off, went to bed. Well, like as soon as I took the patch off, my left shoulder just started aching and burning like nothing I'd ever felt before. And I thought, oh my goodness, I thought I was having a heart attack. So I laid down in bed, and then it just kind of quit and I went to sleep. And it did the same thing the next night. The next night, I took the patch off, and it literally felt like the pain was shooting from my left shoulder across and out my right shoulder. And it did that for 2 nights. And I'm not saying that it healed anything in that short amount of time, but somehow something was released, and I have full mobility in my shoulder. I don't have the pain in there. So that was pretty quick results there too. I also had horrible pain in my feet. I'm a cake decorator, so I'm on my feet for 8, 10, 12, sometimes all night. And I was to the point where I told my husband, I just can't do this anymore. I'm just going to have to close up shop and get out of this because I can't stand to be on my feet anymore. They just hurt so badly. So and I've tried everything, and I've tried acupuncture and acupressure and massage and chiropractor and the whole ball of wax. I did that for my carpal tunnel surgery, ended up having to get, or for my carpal tunnel, ended up having to get surgery on both wrists, ended up having to have surgery on my elbow. So I'm just prone to this kind of thing. But my feet were, as I said, I'm not doing foot surgery. I'm just not doing it. So I'm going to be done with cake decorating. Well, in about 3.5 weeks, 80% of that pain was gone from my feet. And so that's when I decided I had to start getting these patches on other people. So I told my mom and dad, I said, I'm going to give these to you. Now they're 88 years old. And I said, I just need you to put these on and wear them. You don't need to tell anybody. I just need to know if anybody else has results too, because, I don't want to talk about it until I know. So lo and behold, my mom and dad have been on them for just about a month less than what I have. And they have had some pretty amazing results too that we could go through another day. But it's just grown from there. When I saw that it was helping them, then I spread it to other family and friends and whatnot. And it's just going, and we've just got so many wonderful things happening. And I'm so thankful that Carl and Cami came down and introduced me to those. So yeah, I could go on and on about all the other little things. Like I don't color my hair anymore. I was gray, and I had my little skunk stripe if I didn't color my hair. This is all mine.
Wow, Julie.
So I had a growth on the side of my face that is all but gone. I've had skin tags disappear. I don't have the gut issues anymore. My food allergies are getting better. I can't eat everything yet, but many more things than I could. Just tons and tons of things. I don't have the pain in my elbows anymore. I don't have the pain in my upper back and my shoulders. I don't have the pain in my lower back. So yeah, I'm busier than ever in my cake shop and getting busier than ever doing these patches.
Wow, thank you so much. That's
so
amazing.
Wow. So welcome.
Goodness. All right. Well, let's share with people how to get these patches. This is what the main patch that we talk about is the X39, and the price for that is $149 retail. And of course, we love to help people get wholesale pricing. And so wholesale pricing for this patch, a 30-day supply is $99. And considering all of the changes that this can help your body create or do, that is a steal. But we also have support patches that we love to help people with. And we'll explain a couple of our favorites in the next slide. But how do you get to the wholesale pricing? The wholesale pricing is just simply a purchase of a wholesale pack. 100% of this cost goes to your first package of patches at the best price. So this is the way that opens the door for you to access wholesale pricing for the next year. And it's not a monthly fee. We typically will have you purchase a core pack for one person. And I'll give you some examples of how to fill it in just a minute, but it's completely customizable. And then from like next month, you would just order one pack of X39 to continue activating those repair cells. So advanced is typically for 2 people. And then the premium is for like a whole, if you want to buy them at wholesale and sell them at retail. So here's an example of how many patches you get when you do the core pack. So typically I would recommend 1 X39, 2 Eon, and 2 Alavita. And the reason being is that the Eon helps your body create its own anti-inflammatory. And repair cells are drawn to inflammation, kind of like a moth to a flame. And so if you can dial down that inflammation naturally, it kind of doubles the effect of what the X39 does. So you're dialing down inflammation and then sending those repair cells to take care of things. So the Alavita is another favorite patch. And this one we wear at night because it does assist in your body's ability to sleep by telling your brain to release melatonin. It also does some wonderful things for rebuilding your collagen and cartilage, and has some reverse aging features to it by increasing the length of your telomeres. So many wonderful things. So that if I didn't even know what you were suffering with or anything, this would be what I would recommend for pretty much 100% of the people. But if someone is in significant pain, this might be a great option for them. So again, the X39, and then 2 packs of Eon and 2 packs of Ice Wave. Ice Wave really, when you find the right placement of those patches, it really inhibits the message of those barking nerves that are barking that pain message. If you find the right placement, it stops the message. It blocks the message from going to the brain. So it's pretty effective. And note that you're getting a couple packs of each of these support packs. So that's why you can only need to order 1 pack of the X39 in the next month. So we're doubling up on those support packs for you. So those are some ideas of how to fill a core pack. We have a special going on right now through the end of the week. And what this is a free X49. How many of you have heard of EMFs, electromagnetic fields, and how damaging they are to your cells? This patch was created to help your body create a copper peptide that is a sister copper peptide to the X49 or X39. And they together help your body protect you at the cellular level. So how do you get this? You order a core pack tonight or within 24 hours of this call, if you are here live on this call. And then you are eligible for the X49. Another way to do it is if you've already purchased that core pack and you're on this call, hearing this, and you're going, how do I get that free X49? You can do an upgrade. This is so cool. You do the difference in cost between the X39 and X49, and that's only $240. The difference I'm sorry, I said the wrong words. The difference between the core pack and the advanced pack is $240, but that gets you $300 worth of patches. And then you're eligible for a free X49. So that gets you $400 worth of patches at $240. So if you haven't done that already, talk with one of us or talk to your the person who invited you to this call, and we'll help you get that. It is shipped separately. It won't come with your pack. So just so you know that. Cellergize is something that your body will love because it has the things that your body is calling for when you're increasing your cellular activity. So you'll notice you'll need a little bit more water than you usually drink. Hopefully you drink plenty of water, but you'll want to increase your electrolytes. And you're also telling your body to make new cells. So you want the building blocks for healthy new cells. And that would be amino acids. We will also need minerals, and sea buckthorn fruit extract is a well-known superfood from Nepal and Tibet, and that helps your body create its own stem cells. So just want to let you know, this is an amazing supplement. It is something we offer because we were sending people to all over the place to get these different ingredients, and we were like, this is a no-brainer. Why don't we create our own? So this assists your body in hydration and flushing away toxins and giving your body what it needs for that increased cellular activity. And the beautiful thing to do with that Cellergize is to put it in water. But guess what? We are all about light in this company. We know that we are creatures of light. So this machine has been beta tested. It's quite a few people have a machine throughout the country, but it will come out early this next year for sale for the general public. And this machine infuses, after it goes through a double filtration process, and then it infuses the water with 6 frequencies of light. And that light is signaling the body from the inside out to bump up your cellular activity, creating those amino acids and different things. It's amazing. Tracey has one of those machines if you want to try a sample. So every Monday night and Tuesday night, we are here on this call. So we thank you guys so much for joining. If you have friends or know people who would want to learn more about this, invite them back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, on Tuesdays are special. We do the same kind of intro, and then we have a little break for questions and answers, and then we'll go into a deep dive on a different topic, a different health and wellness topic, a different deep dive on a patch, or some different things that people are experiencing. And tomorrow we will be doing a deep dive about the convention and the new products coming out. So that is something that we just got back from yesterday, and we are thrilled to share what is new happening with LifeWave. So also Wednesdays, there's a call at 4 p.m. That is a call on a different Zoom link, but that's our friend Marcy. So sometimes 4 p.m. on a Wednesday is a little easier for our friends in a different time zone. So there's something for everybody around the world. Just get with the person who invited you to this call. We can't advertise this out in the general public due to FDA regulations. We don't want to sound like we're making claims about anything, but if we do feel a social responsibility to share this because it's so revolutionary and it benefits so many people. Like Julie was saying, like she's had her life changed and now she's been sharing this. I can't wait for her to come back. Maybe she can get her mom on the call. Life-changing stuff is happening, and I'm thrilled to be on this journey. And Julie is getting a little thank you check for sharing this information with other people. So I wanted to have you jump in and begin living younger today. It's pretty easy, it's simple, it's affordable, and it just uses the power of light to help your body do what it was designed to do and create your best health. So that is what we have. We will go ahead and do a wheel of names. Julie, I still have you highlighted here. I'll get you untagged in a second. But do we have any other guests on the call? Let me look and see if anybody, any new people. Looks like Anita. So what we like to do is put our friends in a drawing for sorry, I'm getting back to the call here. We like to get our friends into a drawing for a 5-day supply of the X39. Don't let this slow you down from getting that order in. but it is a really nice addition to either gift on to another friend or have an extra 5-day supply somewhere. So, Anita, I put your name on it there a bunch of times because you're here as a guest and you invited guests. So everybody who invited a guest also gets put on the wheel. But Anita, Amy, Suni, and Sue, thank you so much for joining us. And I will go ahead and click this and we will spin and see who wins a 5-day supply of those patches. Oh, Sue, look at that. Wonderful. Well, Sue, thank you so much for coming. And I'm going to give you a website to write down. And I'll pop it in the chat as well. It is x39winner.com. I'm going to stop sharing. That's what I need to do. Okay. x39winner.com. And there we go. x39winner.com and fill out your information and you will receive a 5-day supply of the X39. Like I said, don't wait. If you are interested in ordering the patches, don't wait, because that free X49, which is $100 wholesale, $150 retail value, that deal goes away. And we want you to be able to receive that. It's pretty amazing. So we'll go ahead and stop the recording. And in the chat, I'll drop the order form for you to download.